Hey everybody, this is a totally unorganized video. I have been out here the past week like 4 times, and I don't know what is wrong with my brain. I've been trying to put together this little activity booklet thing, and I've come up with several different ideas for it, and I don't like any of them. I guess that, it just happens. Um, so I'm going to show you the kit that I made and several options. Work through one of them with you, and I know I'm just not going to like it. I don't know what is wrong. I need to make 3 of these. I don't have any little kids anymore. My son just turned 18 in August, so he's grown. And, of course, we don't do Easter. But my mom has a friend that has 3 little ones. So anyway, I'm making these for 3 little ones, 2 boys and a girl. And but I don't know what is going on with this. My brain just will not cooperate. Anyway, I'll show you what I've got. And it's a cute kit. It really is. I'll show you what I got. And so there's 2 products. One is Easter Ephemera, and then the other one is a activity booklet kit for kids. Okay, and I'm using the Easter Ephemera kit, which can go for anything Easter, but I'm going to use that to decorate the little booklets. And so okay, let me see. Let me start out with this, I guess. So it has several different covers. And I think I made the covers in 3 different sizes, I believe. So these I considered the half-page size because when they print out, they're about that size. So there'll be 2 on one page like that. So I called these the half-page size. They're not true to the measurements, but it's, that's the way it goes. These are quarter-page size. But this is the 4 designs that I come up with. I think they're just adorable. And these can be colored, of course, by the little one. And then there's a blank one. So you can put whatever you want on there. If you wanted to just decorate it with a fuzzy cut piece, or if you wanted to draw something or write something on there. Okay. And then this is the color and cutout pages. And so they can color them and then cut them out, put them on the refrigerator, whatever. Hope those are really cute. There's dot to dots. So there's 4 pages of that, which I'm including one, each is a page. And then there's just regular coloring pages. Cute bunnies. And then there's four different mazes. I didn't want to print them out too small, because if they're using crayons, usually, that's going to be kind of tight in there. But they should be okay. And then this also comes with a couple of pieces that are, you cut these out and you make a little notebook. So these are the notebook papers. Little baby ducks and chicks and horses and donkeys. And they're adorable. So I thought those are perfect for spring colors and Easter. So that's what the activity packet kit has in it. I can't speak today either. I apologize. I'm so sorry. My goodness. Okay, so there's that one. Now, then I've already cut out all the ephemera from this set here. I'll just lay those over there. This kit comes, this is the Easter Ephemera 2025 kit, and it comes with 3 background papers. I printed this out borderless. just because I normally do that. I don't know what printer settings yours has. If you don't have borderless, of course, like this one here, I printed this out normal. That doesn't, you just cut the borders off. And as long as you're printing everything the same size, they'll all come out just fine. They'll come out the same measurements as, to go with each other. Compatible with each other. And so there's another background paper. I think that's so pretty. And then there's the third one. And actually goes like that. I have everything upside down today. I really like that one. I just printed these on regular copy paper. Again, I printed this one borderless. Actually, I think I designed them that way. And then the one with the sides, yeah, this one here, I designed this way because I thought you might want to cut out along that jagged edge, give something a little more interest there. And if you don't want to do that, you could probably increase the percentage to maybe 110% or something, and then you could probably print that out borderless like that. So anyway, that's how that one is. These are journal cards, and of course you can see that they're quarter sheet or quarter page size. No, I didn't print anything on the back of them. You can go through and print some of the background papers on the back of your journal cards if you want to. You can leave them blank. You could print this on a card stock so they'll be a little thicker, and that way they'll just be a little more sturdy. Then there's some other journal cards, and give you enough, they give you plenty of room to write on them or to decorate them or whatever. Same thing, I didn't print anything on the back. Here's some fussy cuts, some beautiful Easter eggs I designed, and some Easter stamps, several different sizes there, and they're just cute bunnies, just adorable. And then another page. This has the some fussy cuts you can cut out, and some smaller journal cards, some other stamps, and a little tag with a hole in the corner. If you didn't want the hole in the corner, you could take some ink and kind of ink over that, or just leave it. But I just love these little guys, and he's so cute. And I printed him regular and reversed so that if you wanted to cut him out, you could put it together, back sides together, and you would have a double-sided bunny. Which, if you wanted to do that with anything, you can reverse print things and do the same thing. And there's some more. Oh, these are the pockets. So larger pockets and then smaller ones, different sizes. I used some of the stamps to make a pocket, and I think those turned out really cute. And this one here, like the postcard, and I love that raggedy edge on that. These are some postcards and a little, like a belly band strip, and just a little strip of stamps, which again, if you print it on cardstock, they'd be a little sturdier. And then the last page is tags. And, you could make these into pockets or whatever you wanted to, but they're just tags, just regular tags to stuff in your pockets, over here, or not over here. My goodness, it's one of those days. But anyway, there's several tags on there. So that is the Easter Ephemera kit. And I wanted to use that to decorate the activity book. Now, this is kind of a bad it's kind of a bad prototype. Like I said, I've just not been happy with any of these, and I don't know what to say. It's just my brain is just not cooperating this week. And so anyway, it has 2 pockets in here. It's just a piece of I just used regular scrapbook lightweight cardstock, and it's a 12 by 12, and then I just folded that, or yeah, I think it's 12 by 12. Anyway, I folded it Oh, I cut it down. I know that because I got part of it here, but and I don't even remember how big it was. My goodness, I am something wrong with me today. So it's like, let's see, 6. So I had to cut it down to 8 by 12, I think. Well, 8 by 11. That's right. Yeah, because I cut my papers to 8.5 by 11. That's what it was. Now I remember, because I have 2 more over here. I cut them down to 8.5 by 11. That's what I did. Okay. So then long ways, and then I scored that, flipped it up, made the 2 pockets. I only glued them here on the sides. That way it's not quite so tight. Okay, and then I put together the little notebook, all the little pages in there. And all I did was I took a piece of scrapbook paper and punched holes in it, and I tied it through. And that's plenty easy enough. I mean, little kids aren't going to really care. You could staple it, I'm sure, which would probably be easy. You could sew it in like with like a pamphlet stitch, whatever you want. And then I just, of course, tuck that in the pocket. You could make this into its own little booklet. And like I said, this isn't really finished. It's just a prototype, just ideas. And I made the little cover for this little booklet to include all the little pages. Now what I did, I cut these out individually, and I have no idea why. So I believe I was thinking that, you could just take what out you want and work on it. And that would be, easy, and they'd be flat however you did it. However, I think it would be better to take and cut these half page, in half page. That way, you can, you have it a half page, then you can make it into a, sew in binding or staple it or whatever. And that's how I would do it. That's how I'm going to do it on the next 2. Because I just think that would be much easier. And like I said, I just don't know why I cut them apart like that. I think I was just thinking, yeah, they're all the same size. Just take them out of the booklet or out of the pocket and work on them and all that. So that's the only thing I was thinking about, I guess. So if you were to do it like this and have all the pages separate, you could punch a couple of holes in and then put some embroidery floss or ribbon or whatever through, and that will hold them in. However, it won't lay flat. So I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking. I want a cover on it, but I know, I could make a slide-in pocket where those will slide in, but I think my paper's too small for that. See, that's what I'm saying. I just can't decide. I cannot decide. I used an 8 by 8 for this, and just cut it to size, and I have this left over, because that's what I cut off the bottom. And of course I could make another pocket up this way, but it's still just a little too small for all those pages, because that's pretty thick, quite a few pages. So I'm just not sure what I want to do with that. And I need to drink a coffee. And like I said, it's just this is a horrible video. I have no idea what I'm doing today. Just don't know. I was thinking maybe I could just make a plain cover, use the the background papers and make a plain cover, and then, you know, just decorate it with little ephemera pieces, make some tags, little pockets, and yeah, for some reason this is hard for me today. So I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to see what else I can come up with for this. And if I can come up with something that I'm happy with, then I'll continue the video and show you what I did. So if not, then I won't. You know, that's all I know what to say. It's just it's been a weird few days. And so, okay, thank you for being here, even though this is horrible. I hope that I'm not, you know, the only one that's going through this or has went through this. I feel awful that I just don't know what to do here. But hopefully I'll come up with something great or wonderful that I'm happy with. Some just that I'm happy with, and I'll be right back. But if I'm not, thank you for spending time with me. Okay, I think I'm happy with what I figured out, finally. Okay, so I'm not going to do the folder thing, and I'm going to do something similar to this, but different. And the pages, now I might still stick this in the folder since that's really cute. The girl will love that, the purple and stuff, and the unicorns. Anyway, instead of cutting the papers apart, like I said before, I decided to make them as like regular journal pages. So they're, you know, 2 to a page, and they'll be bound in a cover like a little booklet. And all I did was I just trimmed them. Trimmed the goodness, I can't find nothing. Here we go. I just trimmed out along the outer outlines, and then of course I left the fold thing in the center, but I did trim off all the outside around the edges. And then I have some 8x8 papers that I don't know what I'm ever going to do with these, and so I thought these would be really cute to go with the Easter stuff, and they work out just perfect for a cover. So I trimmed that to 8 inches wide and 5.5 inches tall. So I end up with a cover that fits the pages, the little quarter sheet pages, just perfect. Leaves just a little bit of room around the edges to put in there. And I will be doing just a simple pamphlet stitch in there. And I also trimmed off just a little bit of the outer edges. I just folded them together. I placed the pages in what order I wanted, make sure they're all right side up, and stacked them together really nice. And then I just laid them down, put a ruler across, and then just trim the edges. That way they're nice and straight. Little kids are not going to care. Even if you give this to an adult, they're not going to care. So I want to erase that. Find an eraser. I have no idea where my big eraser went, so we're going to try to get it off here. And I want to do something to the inside of the cover to make it just a little more fancy. And I think I'm going to stencil it. Just regular ink and a stencil. So let me find a stencil. Okay, I think this one here would be just as good as anything. It does not have to be anything fancy. I think that will look just fine. I can get all the dirt off of it. So I'm gonna stencil this with Seedless Preserves Distress Oxide. Let me go ahead and tape this down. If you haven't bought this Scotch washi tape, this stuff is very sticky and it will sometimes rip your paper, so I don't use it for paper anymore. I only use it for stuff like this. Where's my fold? There's my fold. Okay. Just make sure that's kind of straight with the design. And it's not. There we go. That's a little bit better. And I'm just going to tape this down. I hope that's in frame. I think it is. Okay. Now, I'm just going to use Seedless Preserves. And I'm just going to do a light. Does not have to be perfect whatsoever, of course. Just a light stencil, just to give it something a little extra on the inside of the cover here. Actually, I think I might fade that down into something, blue or something. I think that'd be pretty. I'm going to do that. Yeah, that sounds okay. Let me grab some blue. I grabbed peacock feathers oxide. And I should have used the blending brush instead of the blending tool. Oops, on the top half, but that's okay. Does not matter. Just kind of lightly. Try to blend it up in there. Don't want a huge difference. Just enough to show, just enough color. Something kind of pretty. Oh yeah, and then of course I move it. Still, that don't look bad. That's okay. I think that looks good. Just something to make it add a little interest. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing to the other side. But I think I'm going to do it opposite. So I'm going to do the peacock feathers at the top. Go over here. Okay. Let's do it. Yeah, do it like that. It's been a while since I used my stencils. Now this one's a little different colored because I have the purple from previous here, so it'll be exactly opposite of the other one. I mean, I have the purple from the previous, you know what I'm saying. Oh my goodness. Speaking is hard today. I think this one's a little darker too. That's okay. Okay, so now I'll blend this up. This one might look better than the first cover, which I could turn it around. Okay, I think that'll look good. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, that looks cute. Yep, I like that. So that will work just fine. Get rid of this. Close out my inks. Okay, so we have our cover. We have our set of pages. And those will go in there. I'm trying to decide if I want to... Yeah, I think I want to round the edges just a little bit. So I'm going to use the medium one here. Just enough so it's not quite so pointed. And I don't have to... Not doing the pages, just the corners of the cover. Make sure that's going to be okay. Well, I guess I will do the pages. Back and forth, back and forth. And on this one, I think I'm going to use the larger ones. Let's see if it... Oh yeah, it cuts all of them at the same time. Not a problem with that. Okay, there we go. So, rid of our mess. Now, that should be just perfect. All right. Yes, that looks really cute. Okay, so I like that. I'll put these away. Well, I'm going to throw them over there in my pile of... Oh my goodness, what a mess. Okay, now I want to go ahead and stitch that, or do I want to do the cover? I think I'll do the cover first. Yeah, that way it can lay flat while I'm working on it. And I can't decide if I want to do a colored ink for inking, or I think that would look cuter for kids. Yeah. But I kind of like the neutral. So yeah, I'm just gonna use the Vintage Photo Distress. Just regular distress ink. So I'll get that. And I'm just going to do a very, very light distressing, or edge inking. Nothing real prominent, if that makes sense. Because I don't want these to look grungy, so to speak. Not for, little kids. No, I don't think little kids are going to care, but, I just think to more show off the pretty colors, I'm just not going to do it too dark. The inside really doesn't need anything. I think it's raining. Yep. Well, at least I'm inside my art shop. Goodness. Okay. So, got our cover inked. I'm going to lay that right there. I need a baby wipe. Wipe off this ink here so I don't get it on anything else. Oh, I know me. Okay. Alright, so we have our cover. We got our pages done. Let's see what I want to do with my... That's the front. Yeah, that's the front. Okay. So that's going to go there. Yeah, that's going to go there. Exactly. I picked out this tag, but I'm actually going to use this as kind of a background on the cover. So I want to ink around that just to make it stand out a little bit better. Just very lightly, just like on the cover. Just to cover up anywhere that I didn't quite get cut correctly. And of course, like I said, to make it stand out a little better. Oops. I think that's going to look really cute. Okay. So I think I'm going to put it about here, right in the center. I like that. Okay. And I'm just going to use some... It's just Artiste craft glue from scrapbook.com, and it's an okay glue. It stays wet a little bit longer than like art glitter glue or whatever, or the reptile glue. But this does fine, and it doesn't have to last forever, so it'll all be just fine. All right, so now. Let's get this. Now I purposely put it just a little bit closer to the top because I'm going to put a pocket on the front, and I want the flower here to show as much as possible. So that's why I didn't completely center it towards the bottom. Okay. So for the pocket, I picked out this. This is the pocket that I printed out, and if I cut 3 of them off, I can't speak today. So I picked out this pocket. This is how it prints out, but only using 3 of them, it's the perfect width for the cover. I need to round this corner off so that it'll fit or look better. So I'm going to do that. And that will be just about perfect. It's just a little smaller, which is great. Yep. Okay, so now I'm going to ink this lightly. And, you know, you can, this Easter ephemera kit is not just for children. It's just, I created it first just for Easter, and I just thought, oh my goodness, I just thought that it would look great decorating, using the ephemera to decorate the kids' activity books. So that's the only reason. It's not just for kids. It's cute. It's for any, you could use it for journals or anything that you want to that's Easter related, or anything else that you want to use it for. Okay, so let's put this on. That looks pretty good. Whoops. Alright, now we got our little pocket. And this here, I was going to make it into a little tag, I think. And of course it prints out long like that. But I didn't want it to be long, so I wanted to stuff it in there like that. I thought we could write a little note on the back, you know, say Happy Easter or I love you or whatever. And I think I might want to attach that, put it on some cardstock. Goodness. Well, I could put it on there. That would work. Just to make it just a little more sturdy. But I also want to use... Okay, I'm not going to use that one. Let's use a piece of that. You wouldn't be able to write on it, though. I guess you could write it on the front of it. See, I just can't make up my mind today. But yeah, I want to put that on there, so let's move that out of the way. And I'm just going to, I only want to do the top half of that, just to make a little tag. Alright, so just glue that on. Just like any old book page or anything else that you're just attaching the backing to. And I know the background page here is non-directional, so that makes it easy. That looks good. I have to trim that out. It's really coming down out there. You hear the rain? I did not know it was going to rain. I'm stuck in my art shop. Goodness. Okay. Cut our little corners. I think I'm going to round the bottom ones. Use the medium one. Oh, that looks cute. Okay. Yes, that looks really cute. And then we want to put a little hole in it. And I don't think I'm going to do an eyelet, just because I don't think it's going to be that important. But I am just going to use the small hole on the crocodile, which you can use a regular paper punch or whatever that you need to use. But I just like that size, so that's what I'm using there. Okay, oh yeah, that looks really good. I'm happy with that. Okay. Just gonna lightly do the edges. And don't really need to do this side, but I'm going to anyway. Okay, got that. And then also, find it, I want to do that little hole. It's probably not going to show up that much, but I just want to do that. It just irritates me when I forget to finish it. So it looks more finished this way. And then I'm going to find me a ribbon or a piece of twine. Oh, I found the perfect little ribbon. Purple will look good. I already have it tied, so let's see. Get that through there. That might be a little long. That's okay. Just as long as it looks cute. Yeah, okay. I could have used pink or blue, but the purple goes good, so that's fine. Alrighty. Now, I'm gonna need my needle threader, wherever that went. I'm gonna have to use my small one because I don't know where my long one went. So it should work okay. It'll just be a little more fiddly. Alright. Now, put my glue lid back on. Okay, so we have our little tag. Stick right down there in the pocket. And I'd like to put this little bunny on here. I don't really want to cover them up. So I thought I might stick him down in there. And just have him poking out of the pocket. I think that'd be cute. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would look good. And I ink the edges real lightly on him. I didn't cut him out exactly to the perfect to the outlines, but that's just fine. Actually, you're not even going to see his little feet. I think my sponge is about had it on this one. Just making that look a little bit better there. Okay, that looks good. Okay. So we're going to glue him into the pocket. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect because I doubt the kids are gonna hold on to these things, you know, put them in their hope chest or something, you know, a memory box. They might, you never know, but okay. Should have put him in there first. There we go. Stick him right in there. Oh, he looks cute. Yep, he looks good like that. Okay, and then of course we have our little tag. We could also put one of those little postcards in there. So I made several little postcards, kind of like this one with the green on it. That could go in there too. Kind of covers up the bunny. But anyway, you could, you know, you can put whatever you want in there. So that'll work. That'll be just fine. Okay, I'll take that out for now. I think it looks adorable. Don't even have to put anything in there if you don't want to. I think the tag looks good though, because it's just perfect size and it gives a little something extra. Okay, so need to poke our holes for our pages. Oops. There went one. And there's our pages. Get these all nice and straight. I want to figure out where I want to put these first. I'm just going to do 2 holes. That one turned a little big, but that's okay. Just want to do 2 holes, because nothing major. Okay, so got that. And then we're going to want to even that out in between. So about there. And I'm going to mark those right in the binding, or the center. Show up. Yeah, right there. Okay. That's pretty close. This one here needs to go down just a bit. So right there. That one's pretty much right on. All right. I'll get me string. So I got some wax, some gray wax. Oh, I have pink. I want to use pink for hers. So I've got pink waxed thread for hers, for the girls. And I don't need a ton of it. I want enough that it's not going to be hard to run through there. Okay. So let's put our pages in. And then I want to tie this on the outside. So I need to push this through from the outside. There we go. Put that through. And pull it out. And go through this one. It's kind of a flimsy little needle threader. Let me through the cover first, and then I can see through here. Oops. There we go. And then put the other end through. And pull that through the back. All right. That should be just fine. Yep, that looks good. Okay. So then I'll tie this tight, hopefully, but not strangling it. I don't want to rip the papers or the cover. Just enough to keep it pretty good in the spot. Okay, that looks good. I like that. Could put little dangle charms from there, Easter charms. That'd be cute. Okay, there we go. We got our little activity book with all the pages. And if you wanted to, of course, you can put a little cover page of some kind of decorative paper, or you can stencil on it, or use some of the some of the printouts. Oh, like the, I should have done that. Like these, because those fit perfect, because they're 1/4 page size. So you could make a cover page with that. Just glue it onto the back, or the back of whatever your first page is. Those fit perfect. We'll put one in the very back also. Okay, because there's several of those to choose from. Lots of different ones. Oh, that's cute with the little heart. Yeah, those would look really cute. You could even put those, make those as the inside cover. But anyway, you can decorate the inside cover if you want. I want to put a little pocket back here to for the notebook, I think. I don't really want it to be quite that wide. Let's see, because that would be, that's gonna, if I made it that big, I have to trim that down if I wanted to stuff that in there. Or I could just do one like this. Yeah, I think I'll just do one like that. Mark that about there. So let's go ahead and cut that off. Get that even on here. Find my ruler. One of my rulers at least. Make sure that's somewhat straight. There's the pocket. And we need to use the, I'm going to use a medium or a large one on this. Okay, use the medium one. Cut that corner out. Don't really need to do the other one. Okay. Go ahead and the edges of this for the pocket. You can cut out your little thumb notch. Find my circle punch. You hear it pouring down rain? My goodness. Alright, so I'm just going to make a small one here. Try to get that somewhat even. That's pretty good. Like that. Okay. Ruler. And let's get this little pocket glued in here. Just along the edges and on the bottom. Don't want that too far up because you don't want to take up space in your pocket. I'll line that up best we can. That looks good. Covered up all that purple stenciling, but that's okay. Now what, let's see. We want to decorate that. Let's find something. Oh, I think I want to put a little bunny on there. Yes. He is so cute. Look at that little guy. I think he'll fit just fine there. So let's ink him up. He turned out so cute, so fluffy looking. All right. We're just gonna glue him on. You could use stickers, rub-ons. I don't have any Easter rub-ons, I don't think. I may somewhere in there, but I don't remember now. But I'm just going to use him. I think he is adorable. That looks cute. Yep. He's so cute. And he shows up good on that too. Just that scrapbook paper. Okay, and then you can make your, like I said, this is just a piece of cardstock, decorative cardstock. I didn't do anything to the back, which you can. You don't have to. And I just punched holes right there, matched them up, and tied a string through it. It's that simple for that. You could cut this little flap off if you want to. I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm just going to put that right in there, in that pocket. Make sure that stays glued down. And there we go. I think that is perfect. Everything fits in there great. This is going to fit into a Easter basket because it's plenty, plenty small enough, but it's still big enough for the kids to draw in and color in and everything. So I think that is just adorable. You can also, of course, decorate the back, put whatever you want on there, and I could put some Easter stamps on the back. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. Or maybe one of the postcards, or one of these journal cards, postcard things would be cute. Oh, that looks adorable. The little flowers. Yes, I'm going to do that. Just do that real quick. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on and decorate it for an hour, you know. And I may continue to work on it a little bit. But I have the other two to make also. So, and I'm not going to do those on camera. It took me long enough to figure out what I wanted to do with this one. I had so much trouble figuring out how I wanted to do it, you know, because it's for kids, and like I said, I don't have any little kids anymore. So, yeah. There. I think they're going to love it no matter what. Okay, that looks really cute. And pink flowers look great with that pink background. He's so pretty. Okay, guys. If you want to date stamp it, you know, I think on this one here, I just have that blank. And then 2025, go to April. Yep. Let's do it in purple. Yep, there we go. And I think I'm going to put it right there. Hopefully it'll... There we go. You see? Perfect. It doesn't take away from anything. It shows up good. That looks great. That is so cute. And you'll go to the Dollar Tree and get one of those packs of the little short color pencils, or a little small pack of crayons, or markers. Yeah, and put that in there with it. That would be perfect to go together. So I had another tag in there, or like I said, one of the postcards, or, you know, make anything to put in there. Make another tag, different one, stick in there. One of the smaller pockets, you could make that into a tag even. But yeah, just any of these. Like I said, that one, since I put that bunny back there, I just don't want to cover him up, so I'm not going to use that. But anyway, let's put all kinds of cute stuff in there. That would look cute. Okay, guys, well, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm glad I finally came up with something that I like for this kit, or for the kids activity book. And I hope you guys make this. It's so cute, and this didn't take very long. I think the most time-consuming thing is fussy cutting. So if you're not fussy cutting anything, then you really don't have to worry about that. But anyway, both of the kits are available on my website, taylorbear.com, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And I apologize for not being here for the last week, but like I said, I've been out here 4 times, and I just couldn't come up with one that I liked. So we have these now, and I think I'm just going to stuff that in there, and I think that's perfect. Put her name here, and then it's all enclosed in a folder, and it has this little cover and pocket. I could put the little postcards or whatever in here, because those fit just fine there. So, and then maybe write her a little note on one of those journaling cards. That's adorable. Yep, that's perfect. All right, thank you guys. I am so glad that you spent time with me today, and I hope that on my next project, it won't be too long, just maybe a couple of days. So, thank you. I will see you all soon. Bye-bye.